Welcome back to another episode of What Next podcast, where we bring inspiring journeys and career insights for students and professionals who are figuring out their next step. So today's guest is someone who has not just walked one, but two of the India's most aspirational career path. With this, I welcome our guest for today, Mr. Sanket Agarwal, who is a chartered accountant and an IRS officer. Sanket Agarwal, an Indian Revenue Service Officer of the 2018 batch, currently posted as Deputy Commissioner, Tax Policy Research Unit, Ministry of Finance, Delhi. Mr. Sanket is chartered accountant by qualification, having cleared CA in 2015. He then worked briefly with ITC Limited before making the bold decision to quit his job and prepare for the civil services examination. He joined the IRS in 2018 and since then has served in multiple critical roles in tax administration. Oh, hello, Sanket. We are thrilled to have you with us today in my channel, The Light Baker. Welcome to the What's Next podcast, and I'm really, really grateful to you for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much for coming here.
Hi, Priyanka. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to share this platform with you, and I've seen your videos. I think you're doing a great job for future students, and the way you inspire them through your videos. I'm glad to be part of this journey.
Thank you so much, Sanket. And I'm sure your roadmap, your struggles, your skills, whatever you're going to share, it will really help all the students out there who wish to pursue IRS in future. So before we start, I just want you to, take us through your journey, like from pursuing CA, Chartered Accountancy, to working with ITC, and then deciding to attempt for your civil services exams. How did it go about it? Like, what made you think about it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think so. Growing up, when someone used to ask me what's your aim in life, I did not really have a definitive answer. It's only when I maybe did my 10th, then I realized that I'm surrounded by CAs, relatives, friends, everyone was a CA. So CA felt the natural course of progression for me. I picked it up. I liked the subject. I liked the rigor, and I liked the technical expertise that it brought. So I did my CA. I joined ITC, which again felt like a natural progression to me. So I was loving the job. While I actually felt very fulfilled and happy in my job, I still felt that, maybe I can do something else. And that's where it took me back to my childhood days, maybe where I had this fascination for joining the government or in one way or the other.
Nice.
So that's when I decided, okay, let me try UPSC. So yeah, it has been great. I did my 10th from Dimapur, then 12th from Guwahati. Then I did my CA and then I was in ITC. But after 3 months in ITC, I left and decided to prepare civils. And yes, here we are. So it's been a great journey.
Oh, nice, nice. And even I have heard that you were a rank holder in your CA finals, right? So,
Yes.
so tell me, like, what role did, CA bring in your life?
Yes, I think CA course is structured in such a way that you learn and pick up many valuable skills along your way. For example, when you are sitting at 10 p.m. in an office on the last time barring day, so you have to make that decision if your balance sheet is not tallying, and you have to come up with the reason why. So that analytical ability no textbook can teach you. It's only through practice that we learn. Or when you go to a client office and you see, okay, this is maybe an audit point, and you have very less time to finalize, you have pressure from all sides coming in, that decision making ability no one will be able to teach you through theory. So in that way, I think CA has given me so much exposure, and also the kind of network it has helped me build. I think I thoroughly credit my CA journey to my professional success, and it has been a very very rewarding professional experience.
It's a beautiful course which actually teaches life skills to us in some way or
Yes,
the other.
agreed.
So,
Yes.
like, there are many students who struggle in deciding whether, they should settle for a job or, explore more bigger goals. So, like,
Hmm.
since you, after getting a rank in your CA finals and then joining a good corporate job, and that too was satisfying for you, still,
Yes.
what was the thought process? What was your thought process when you left ITC and, prepared for your UPSC?
I think that's a very interesting question. I think I struggled with that choice for months and weeks, and I constantly asked myself that am I ready for this?
Yeah.
So I think the biggest takeaway for students and those who are listening is that if you do decide to do something, remember that you have to be in love with the end goal, because the journey will be difficult. There will be failures. And if you're not motivated enough by the end goal, then the failures can actually create a big setback for you. In my case, after I did my CA, I had this thing that I had to get into public service. So, of course, I left my job, and it was 2 months for the civil service examination. I gave the exam, I did not clear. But since I had that, passion, and I had that motivation in mind, I could persevere. So I think that's the most important thing in deciding what to do.
Yeah.
All everything has its perks. A secure, comfortable job is also great, and like it's great to have a good quality life and everything. And at the end of the day, I'm also doing a job only. It's not like I'm running a business or something. But that depends on how much do you want the end goal, because remember, the path is fraught with failures. So once you get a small dent or failure, you should not be discouraged. Rather, it should act as a motivator for you to move to the next step. So that's the most important thing, how passionate you are about your end goal.
That's such a powerful message for all the students. It's a big example of courage and clarity when you are making a career choice for yourself. That's wonderful, Sanket.
Yes.
Good to know that. So, like, as an, IRS officer, you have handled like international taxation, transfer pricing, maybe many you have must have solved dispute resolutions also, and have formed tax policies, right? So can you explain what each of these roles are for the students, like they get to know what they actually need to do when you're in this career choice? Yeah.
Yes, of course. So, as being a government servant is all about being, the jack of all trades. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, because people, when they say jack of all trades, they mean that, okay, you're not an expert. But the idea is that you should be able to manage different things, and you should be dynamic enough to take on various responsibilities. So, as an IRS, I worked in assessment, I worked in ITTP, I work now in tax policy. Every field has presented unique challenges, but the common underlying thread amongst all is that you get to work at the cutting edge of whatever is happening in the country. In be it the tax policy, be it the international tax relations, you get to interact with the income tax counterparts of various countries, which is itself a very very good experience.
Mhm.
And the kind of flexibility and reach that government service, or especially IRS, has provided me. I think I have represented India on various international platforms like OECD, BRICS, etc. So, which has been a great experience, because when you interact with more and more people, you realize where you stand and what better you can do to make the systems country even more efficient and judicious. So overall, it has been a great experience, and I would definitely say that being in a government service and doing various roles has been immensely rewarding.
Nice, nice, nice. That's serious. Basically, whatsoever role you are in, you get to learn a lot from those things. So, can you tell
Right.
me what all skills are needed in a student if they wish to, get into this career path, or if they wish to do government roles? So, what all skills are very, very important for a student to have?
Yes, I think so. The basic common skills which you need for any educational field, be it a CA, be it your business, or be it UPSC, are like dedication, then commitment to the cause, and hard work. But
Yeah.
I think one thing which also is very important is the ability to ask for help. So as students, many students don't want to reach out to mentors because they are shy that what will people think, what will someone think of my thought process, or will I be considered as inefficient if I ask for help?
Mhm.
Because guidance, clear guidance, is very important in any field of work. So guidance can only be provided by people who have been there, who have gone through something, so that you don't have to go through it. So it's very important to reach out to your seniors, your mentors, and just discuss, just talk about what you want in life. Apart from that, for government service, one thing I would say is that the job itself should be a motivator enough to make you join the service, because many people join it for various frills and various other reasons, such as perks or a house or this and that, which might not always materialize. Like the compensation or the facilities may not be what you always dreamt of, or what is made in this fancy YouTube videos. So that is very important, that if you join government service, you should be very clear as to that the job itself is a motivator for you and not the frills. So that's very important, I think, for my young students and those who are listening.
That's so fascinating, you know. You know, when you learn about things in your classroom, your classroom concepts convert into real life situations, it actually fascinates a student. And
Yeah.
now, when you're doing it in real life, it is actually a learning process for you as well. So that is why we are doing this video, this podcast also. Ki people or any professional or any student who wish to get into this journey, they get to learn a lot from the talks that you are sharing with us. So they'll know what all things are needed to do. Because बहुत बार स्टूडेंट्स
Yes.
लोग को समझ ही नहीं आता है कि मुझे आईआरएस करना है तो मुझे क्या करना होगा, व्हाट इज द रोड मैप, हाउ शुड बी गो अबाउट इट. सो दैट वाज द विजन ऑफ व्हाट नेक्स्ट, कि स्टूडेंट्स को आंसर्स मिले
Mm.
कि ये चीज करने के लिए उसको
Mm.
क्या क्या पाथ को क्रॉस करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट इज व्हाई यू
You're right, Priyanka. I think when I was doing my preparation, I was in desperate need of something like this, something, which can guide me. Because, like I said, when I gave my first attempt, it was a completely rudderless attempt and I could not clear. In
yeah,
the second attempt, thanks to many mentors and seniors, I actually could get some sort of guidance. So
yeah.
I think this is a really good initiative, and I think it will definitely help our young friends and even people who are, midway through their careers. I think whenever you have to make a decision, these talks and these experience sharings will actually take them a long way.
Thank you so much, Sanket. Thank you. So, can you share about how was your UPSC preparation? Like your journey, how did you manage that transition from CA to civil services preparation? What all struggles you faced, challenges you faced when you were preparing for UPSC? Yeah.
Thank you, Priyanka. It takes me back to the days of my preparation. I think the biggest struggle, for any middle class boy coming from a small town, when he gets a good job and then to leave that job within 3 months and that financial security behind, I think that was the biggest decision. I don't think I'm very grateful to my parents who had supported me during this, because I don't think I would have had the courage to leave a job which pays me and, go back into the anonymity of preparation coming back to Guwahati. So I was in ITC, like I said, I was in Calcutta. I was doing good. It was a good team. Everything was good. But somehow I felt that, okay, this is the time to act. If not now, then when? So I just discussed with my parents, my friends, and in fact, I had ordered books for cat as well. So I
Okay.
had thought that, okay, maybe I'll give cat. And then on introspecting, I felt that, okay, this is maybe more of the same. And why don't I really do what I want to do, what actually gives me a lot of pleasure? So yeah, that led me to resigning my job and coming back to Guwahati. And once in Guwahati, it was difficult because the facilities are not always there. It was difficult because the resources were not available in Guwahati. Everything was in Delhi. But again, the staying in Delhi for such a prolonged period of time maybe is not financially prudent for everyone. So
Hmm.
whatever savings I had from my time in ITC, I could use that to take some test series and just go through the preparation stage. I of course failed in my first attempt. I gave it 3 months after clearing my exam. I think I was sort of a bit naive and more overconfident that if I had cleared CA, that too with a rank, maybe I'll clear UPSC, nothing. There's no big deal about it. But what I realized, I think the biggest takeaway for me was that every exam and every struggle in life is different. So you have to plan for it. You have to know what the needs of the hour are. So thankfully, in my next preparation, I could actually go through a detailed, structured preparation in a very structured way and with the help of guide, seniors and mentors. And then I can finally, clear the civils. I think I spent about 2 months in 3 months in Delhi
Yeah.
because that's all my savings could afford me to do. And the rest of it was entirely done from Guwahati through online sources.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm very grateful to all around people who have supported me, and I'm grateful to myself. I mean, for taking that decision
Yeah.
because that was a difficult decision to take.
It comes down to think about like how career counseling is so important, because we waste a lot of time figuring out what is something
Yes,
that actually fascinates us or I'm passionate about it. And अगर वो पहले ही पता चल जाए through counseling or discussing with your mentors or with anyone whom you trust, it saves your time, it saves your effort, and आप पहले ही उस line में जा सकते हो. I still remember when I
exactly.
was a student, I also faced the same problem. There were no mentors, no counselor to talk to, no seniors to, discuss such things because इतना scope ही नहीं था. and that
Hmm.
time, that gap was visible ki
Hmm.
it is the need of the hour. And somehow I
Hmm.
feel now through social media or through there are many mentors around, so we can take the help of them, right? So
Yes. No.
like according to you, like what tips will you give like CA students or any student who wish to get into IRS कि उनके
Hmm.
उनको क्या क्या चीज कंसिडर करना चाहिए बिफोर चूजिंग यूपीएससी, जस्ट नॉट गो विद द नेम
Hmm.
और टैग, एंड बिकॉज दिस इज अ वेरी सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम एंड सब सुनते हैं ना कि सबको करना चाहिए, बट you actually as a student need to think what are the skills that is important, क्या interest area होना चाहिए if you want to go for
Hmm.
UPSC. So can you please share like students के लिए कि क्या चीज actually होना चाहिए उनके अंदर ताकि वो इस career path को choose कर सके.
Thank you, Priyanka. I think that's a very interesting question, and I'll try to answer it very honestly without any platitudes.
Yes.
So, I think the most important thing to consider when you are taking any new path, especially government service, is your financial situation. So, I know it's a very unconventional answer. People will say, okay, no, maybe the drive or the motivation is enough, but you have to be sure that you are okay with living life on a government salary, unless you have other motivations which we won't discuss here. But if you are okay living your life with a government salary, and if you feel the work itself will give you a lot of motivation, a lot of drive, only then you should pick up something like a government service, or even something which maybe is not the most remunerating in terms of pay, but which gives you a high level of job satisfaction.
Hmm.
Besides that, of course, like I've mentioned, you have to have the end goal in mind. Like, does that work actually drive you, or you are doing it only to maybe make a good name for yourselves in the society? Maybe that job would be great in from society's point of view, but
Hmm.
for you, maybe it's not the right thing, because that is not what something that drives you. So I think that I remember when I left ITC and came back to Guwahati. So my some of my relatives, in fact, asked me, okay, that why did you leave your job? You Even if you clear, you will not make as much as you made in ITC even after 5 years. So I think you have to be ready to feel those kind of questions, and for that, only inner conviction in the purpose will serve you. So to everyone watching, I think you should be very clear about your goal. If you are not, just talk to your mentors, your friends. Try to reason with yourself the pros and cons of any choice that you are making, and it will help you see clearer. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. That is actually a tip which every student should actually know कि क्या reality है. So
Hmm.
everyone has has an image before joining a civil service career path. Okay, so how it is different? Like how is the life of a civil servant different from what students imagine? एक जो पहले आपने जो इमेजिन कर रखा था एंड
Hmm.
जब आपने ज्वाइन किया तो वाज इट
Hmm.
डिफरेंट एंड हाउ इट वाज डिफरेंट.
Yes, I think it's certainly different, because even when I started preparing, I used to see all these YouTube videos, and YouTube videos will show you only one thing: an officer getting out of a car with a lal batti, and then you'll have someone
True.
saluting him, and there'll be a big house and a lot of servants.
Mhm.
And people also say that you work from 11 to 4 and then go home and live a very comfortable life. The reality is something different. I think the work is even more, if not equally exciting as what is shown.
Mhm.
But the level of comfort, or level of facilities that is shown might not be true, because people work very hard in the government nowadays. People are in offices at 9 and they are sitting till 8, 9 p.m. Like, 11-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts are not unheard of. So I think that has been a very seismic change in the government, the way it functions. Also, the kind of cutting edge work that is done, I think that is not often portrayed. Like, because if you are working in any field in the government, you will be doing the most cutting edge work in that field, which is unparalleled, and you won't get that exposure anywhere outside India. And
Mhm.
in terms of housing facilities, yes, they are great, they are very good,
Mhm.
but that should not be the expectation when you come in, because nothing can match those YouTube videos. So that should be a very realistic expectation. It's more about the work, the kind of work that there is, that is in fact much much better and much more rewarding than what is projected. So you will not feel disappointed in that area,
Mhm.
definitely.
Basically the motivation, the push that you get from the work that you're doing is more important than anything
Yes.
else. तो ये चीज ध्यान
And
रख।
even when you come and you think that okay, I want to do this work, then you'll find yourself very highly satisfied and motivated. But if you think that okay, I'm waiting for my next big house or my next big car, while that is great, of course, we want a creature comforts, but that will motivate you only to a certain extent, and it will mostly end up disappointing you. So that is important to keep in mind.
Correct, correct, right. So for students who are, struggling or who are confused to decide between corporate job or CA practicing work or UPSC, what should they think about before they take a decision? Like, तीन पाथ है सीए में, लोग बोलते हैं ना या तो कॉर्पोरेट जॉब में जाओ या प्रैक्टिस में जाओ, एंड यूपीएससी एग्जाम,
Yeah,
दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव चोजन. So you have done your CA
right.
studies also, you have gone into
Mm.
corporate job also, and you have seen your friends doing CA practice, and now you are into
Mm.
UPSC. So what are things that students should think before deciding anything?
Yes, I think those are all very good and noble paths, and those are all equally rewarding in their own instance. The thing is, you should be very real with yourself as to what your strengths and weaknesses are. For example, when I started out, I knew that maybe, I am not cut out for that high of a risk taking ability as a business or a practice demands. I'll be very candid. So I wanted something more secure in my life, and I wanted something which, uh, gives me the chance to grow organically without taking a lot of risk. Also, the financial situation plays a role, but that is something that we can always talk about later. But also, you need to be very real with your with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. If you feel that okay, my strength is actually building my own business, building my own dreams, starting from scratch and taking it to taking to heights, to go for it. That's definitely a good route. But if you think that okay, I'll be more comfortable, working in a big city or in an MNC, and traveling the world or going around for business meetings, and then maybe corporate is well suited for you. And on the other hand, if you feel that okay, no, I want to make a real tangible change. Why is my footpath broken? Why is my road not see water lines not working? And I want to make that change. Then go for government service. But you need to be very real with yourself. And I think your friends, mentors, they will help bring out that clarity in you. Because sometimes what happens is when we sit by ourselves, now our vision always gets clouded. We think okay, that we might do this, we'll be able to do this, and no, there's no one really to question us, because maybe our family loves us very much, but they won't be able to question our life choices, or they won't critically evaluate what we want. So for that, you need a very trusted third party who actually critically evaluates this and forces you to think as to what you really want. I think that's the first step, and then everything else will fall in place.
Perfect, perfect. You need to have that unbiased opinion from the people around us, so that जो हमारे strengths है, जो हमारी weakness है, हमें actually में बताओ. I'm not fit for
Yes.
practice, or I'm not fit for corporate job or anything like that. Everyone has
Yes.
their qualities, right? So in that way, we need to decide. Correct. So according to you, sir, what qualities are important to make anyone successful in any field, be it anything? There are few qualities that a person should actually have. What, according to you, those are?
I think number one is clarity of vision, which is very important. Again, I've said this multiple times during the course of this interview, but I cannot stress this enough. You should know what you want in life, and then you should make a plan for it and dedicatedly execute it. Those are the only three things that you will need. Have clarity that okay, you want something in life, make a plan as to how you'll achieve it, and just execute it with all dedication. In spite of that, if it doesn't happen, that's fine. But at least that is the prerequisite that you need to undertake to be successful, I think, in any field of life, not just UPSC or CA, but
Correct.
in any field, really.
Clarity is power, actually.
Yeah,
जितने जल्दी
actually.
समझ जाए उतना अच्छा. Clarity is very very
So
important.
actually, आता नहीं है इतना जल्दी. So sometimes you need to, go through the struggle of, many things, and then realize, okay, I want this in life.
True,
But
true.
the sooner you get it, the better it is.
Correct, correct. Right. So, what according to you, like looking back now, you are settled, you are happy, you are satisfied. But what role did mentors or your friends or your family members played in your journey? Are they important actually?
I think yes, they are very important. Even growing up, like when I was in school, I had amazing teachers surrounding me who helped me, question myself as to whether the things that I'm doing are right or not. So they did not say that okay, you have done a wrong thing. They made me introspect. Okay, whether the thing that you have done is actually right, is commendable, worthy of a good human being or not. I think that was the first building block. Growing up, we had more mentors and friends who actually, try to influence in a positive way my choices about my career. Like when I was planning to come back from ITC, and I spoke to many people, including past teachers and all, and they had this thing in mind that, okay, if you want this, if you really want this, and you are sure that you'll go through with it, and you are ready to put in the hours, then go for it. But to have someone actually question you critically whether you want to do something or not, I think that is very important. And mentors and friends help you there. Parents, on the other hand, while they may not be critical of you, because but they will be there to support you no matter what. I knew even if I did not clear my CA or did not clear my UPSC, there's always someone I can fall back upon,
True.
and there's always someone who will always be there for me, even if no one else is. So
True.
parents and siblings play that role, and mentors play a different role. So I think we should also be cautious. While parents can become mentors, but we should also try to get a third party independent mentors views, because sometimes parents judgments are clouded. They
Correct.
all they see is love for their child and nothing else. So
Correct.
that is also very important. Yes.
So, according to you, like, is there any misconception that students have about government work, government services, or tax administration? Any misconception that you feel that students might be having or you had when you were a student?
Yes, I feel that many people will share this misconception that government servants don't work at all. So once they enter the service, they are, and I don't blame them, because many times when we have this, citizen-facing roles, many of the government agencies or bodies do fall short. But that might also be reasons of capacity, rather than just lazy work ethic or something like that. When I entered the government, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the work ethic of people is second to none. And
Wow.
everyone is actually really motivated to work here and really motivated to, deliver. And always people try to go beyond the call of duty to actually deliver. How much it translates on the ground and how much of it is seen by people is another thing. So maybe that is something that will come eventually. But I think you all, those who wish to join government service, you'll be very pleasantly surprised as to how much work ethic we have, how much work ethic the government in general has, and how much of a change we are able to make using that work ethic.
Nice.
So I think that is a big positive surprise.
Wow, nice. So wonderful. I'm sure so many of the students who are in the middle of crossroads will get lots of answers about this career path, right? Thank you so much, Sanket. It was beautiful. The way you explained everything, the way you have shared all the roadmaps, your struggles, challenges, and skills that a student actually need if they want to opt for IRS. But a quick, 3, 4 questions of rapid fire I would like to ask you for the students. Are you ready? Yeah. So
I think so.
simply one word answers for each. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So tell me, Sanket, one skill that every CA student should start building today.
Asking for help.
Perfect. One thing UPSC aspirants must absolutely avoid.
Trying to learn everything under the sky.
Acha. Okay. One habit that helped you the most during preparation.
Planning.
Perfect. One mindset shift that changes everything.
I think I can't answer this in one word, but
Fine if you take
it's a
4 points. Okay.
very interesting question, but I'll try to do it. I think perception. So I'll explain. So when you are able to perceive as to what is actually happening and what you really want and what's the cost of getting there, that mindset shift, when you are able to visualize everything perceptively, I think that is a very important change.
Perfect. Yes, yes. So, one message to your younger self.
It will all be all right. So don't worry.
Perfect. Awesome. Awesome, Sanket. Sanket, your journey is truly, truly inspiring. And I'm sure students will learn a lot from it, will have that courage to take that step if they really wish to go for this journey. Because I strongly feel that, students should listen to your heart. And if they actually want to pursue this career, they need to build up their skills. So yes,
Right. Thank you, Priyanka. Yeah, I also would like to make a shout out to the page and the channel and the work that you are doing, motivating the young students. And I hope everyone listening here has found this helpful in whatever way. You may feel free to connect with me any way or any time, and I would be more than happy to take you through any queries that you might have. Thanks again, Priyanka, for having me. I think this has been a great session and really rewarding for me personally.
Thank you so much, Sanket, for accepting my invitation. And I'm sure students will learn a lot from you. And if any one of you have any doubt, you can contact him. Thank you so much, Sanket. Students, from today's conversation, you must have learned that qualifications are not just destinations, but are stepping stones. From becoming a chartered accountant to taking the leap into UPSC to now shaping India's tax policy, Sanket has shown the power of clarity, courage, and continuous learning. So, to all the students, listeners, remember the question is not just what's next, but what's right for you. Take inspiration, but also take responsibility to choose the path that aligns with your values and strengths. And to everyone tuning in, if this episode inspired you, don't forget to share it, subscribe for more, and keep asking yourself what's next, because the future belongs to those who are prepared for it today.